Cool. So now to start, I'm just testing that my toString is working correctly. So all I've done here is I made a project UI, which is where the class gets run from, which is in question 6, I think it is. No, it's in question 5. It's in question 5. So all I did was I created the project UI and did nothing further. Next, what I did was if you use Salt and press tab in NetBeans, you should have a system.out.println. So in here, let me just go test.toString. So this should test my ran the wrong project. This should test my alter name, and it should print out the things correctly, and it's a double, yes, and then we can even compare it to question 6 in this case. Here. So cool. That seems like it worked correctly. So let's carry on with question 3. So that's just how to do the testing. So question 3, we need to create a class called grade. So just create a new class. Yeah, I think I'm just going to do the fields manually. And we have our int grade and then I'll private. Cool. Added those in, that's an integer, so it needs to be int. Now we can insert our constructor, and we need to have our int and double that we generate. And here we have our in grade, so in G, and our in total, which is in T. And these become cool. Next let me just add this in here. Okay, next we have our getters, so get total and set total. Oh, so we have a getter and a setter, so an accessor and a mutator. So getter will be turns the total, and we have a mutator, so setter. Set total for now, I'm just going to leave that blank until we know what we have to do in that class. Next is our toString. It's going to return an empty string for now before we do our formatting. Cool. Now let's work through the questions to see if we've done these correctly. So first we have our grade with grade and total properties indicated. Yes, we've put those in. 2 final constants, so public static final means that limit, whenever we type limit, it is 20. So yeah, that I think when we work with that later, you will see exactly how they work if you're not sure at the moment. Cool. Constructor as parameter, grade property, double in representing the total hours property for a grade. Cool. To assign values, total number of hours represented there is greater than the limit, then bonus must be added to the total. Use the constants limit and bonus to increase the total should it be necessary? Okay, so we need to have, we can work this out with in total. So this is where we can see limits. So if in total is greater than the limit, then bonus must be added to the total. So we do that. And then if it's greater than 10, now we need to add bonus. So we can have bonus. There we go. So these are treated as basically variables that stay the same value. That's what the final constant is. Let's just make sure that I've done this correctly. Cool. Okay, awesome. Next, create accessor and mutator. So here's our accessor and our mutator. I assume our set total will do the same thing. So this dot total in T and our F. If nt is greater than limit, then we should add a bonus. Add the bonus. Cool. Now once we have that, let's have a look at the next part. The toString. So in our toString, we need to toString grade. It seems like there's no space between here, so we can just have plus and the grade. And it seems that we need 4 spaces, so I assume they don't want us to use a tab in this case. Ooh, we can just type this in here. Hours with the space and total. Cool. That seems, yeah. So that seems like it should work. We can test it in our project UI quickly. So let's have a grade test 2. And in here we have the grade. So let's say grade 10s did 30 hours. So that's the initializing of the grade. And then let's print this out. Test2.toString. And let's have a look at what happens. Grade. Oh, there's a space in front of there. I need to go sort that out. Grade. Got the grade. 4 spaces. Total hours and the hours in a boolean. Cool. 30 because it's greater than 20. It should add 10, which is 40. Cool. And then in student, why do I have a space in front of the surname? There we go, +1. That should sort out the problem. Let's have a look. And yes, it's sorted out. So basically what this does, it gets the index of, it starts the substring at the index of the space, but it starts before the space, not after the space, and that's why it was inputting a space in the output. And to fix that, you just go to the next character in the string. Cool.
Charging battery.
Question 3 completed.